So welcome back to the Tydirium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with probably one of the most exciting reviews I've done in a long time, and that is the X-Transbots Sea Spray. They call it Neptune. And there's a couple things I want to say about it. First of all, I have been talking for a year, well, at least a year and a half maybe, that X-Transbots will make the best Springer and the best Sea Spray. And now that I have it in hand and I can prove it, I'm very excited about this thing. So let's get started in all this. And I want to say that if you're gonna be last to market with your Sea Spray, you're gonna be last to market with your Springer, you have to be the best or it will not sell. If you're subpar and you're last, it's not gonna sell. Same thing as if you're on YouTube. If you're the last one putting up a YouTube video, you gotta either be the best or do something different. So I have a whole lot of different stuff going on in this video than all the other ones. Starting with, this is G2 and G1, and you can make it work, and they can double ski. If you move this, they kind of fall a little bit, but no, don't fall. But yeah, it's kind of a cool effect. It's really an awesome type of accessory. And these harken back to the third-party add-on kits that they made. It's just really cool, and X-Transbots really excels with this. All right, so here's the box. It looks really good. It's got the usual box art on it. You have the tech specs, and you kind of need a decoder unless you can really see all that. And it shows kind of some of the accessories, which is kind of cool. Kind of laid back. You've got that mode. You've got that mode. But yeah, it's a decent box. Good packaging. X-Transbot stuff. It just has its look to it, and it looks like a combination of Masterpiece and G1 in a way. So I want to talk about this guy here in his alt mode, and it is a beautiful alt mode. It looks great. It looks awesome, and I want to say that it's sleek. The design is great. It's actually a pretty big guy, and we're going to do some size comparisons here in a little bit. And there is weapon storage right there, so just to point that out, doesn't hinder the rolliness, and it rolls good. It rolls better than a lot of the MP cars do. It looks good. Now for size comparison, you're gonna see he's a little smaller than the Toyworld version. He's bigger than the Fanstoys Spindrift 1.0, and of course you've got G1 up in the mix here. And I want to say that actually, although he is the best and a reasonable price for like 55 bucks, and I think some of the retailers are going up to like 63 or something on it, I did get him from Shozy, and I want to say I'm going to put a link down below where you can get it from Shozy, because it's a great value on this figure. He's awesome. Now, Toyworld didn't want to kind of tab together as well, and neither did these two. Did not tab together as well as I had them last time. It was a bit of a challenge getting those tabbed just right and fit in just right. But I want to say that this guy goes right back really well. So I want to say this one was a simple transformation. Even though it's a little bit different, there's a couple more steps. I found it pretty simple. Next, I want to put up a picture of Spindrift 2.0, and if you look at these, the Spindrift 2.0 does look pretty good, and in the alt mode, and it's kind of one of those things that you can see what your competitors did and then improve on it, I guess. You could see where you failed in a way and improve on it, but I think that Fanstoys has a big bone to pick with this guy and really wants to beat it. But we're going to kind of look at a few things to figure out if it will in the end. So let's go ahead and get this guy transformed, and I'll try not to get my hands in the way too much, but it just like usual, you kind of pull the legs down. I really like some of the stuff they did with the legs. There's the gun that's stored down below. So when you kind of break it all loose, you want to fold that piece down So that piece folds down, and then that makes it to where it'll fold up for the foot. And this is a really cool part of the transformation. This piece folds over. I guess when you pull this back, then fold it over. And then it folds all the way over. And then that tab goes right into there. And that forms the foot. And it seems complicated, but it really isn't, to tell you the truth. It's very simplistic in design. It's multiple steps, but once you get it done once or twice, it makes sense. Gotta break this piece loose again. This one's in there tight. And then fold it up, fold it down. And then repeat the steps here. Pull this out just a bit. Fold this one over. And it's kind of a double hinge. And then that tabs into place there. And you have the feet done. And once the feet are done, I like to start from the bottom up so you can stand them. When everything's pulled down, you can stand them up. Well, sort of. Now, the rest of this, I guess I didn't really show it so much, but the rest of it kind of pops out like so. Now, with the way they designed it, I mean, that includes the ankle rocker and all that. Now, it looks like the arms are already out. This thing just looks like it's already transformed. Just the way it just automatically goes. There's a few more things you gotta do. You gotta pull these tabs in the back so the top part rests. And then those tabs tab into here so that it will hold together better. Oh, well, it's not going to hold together right till you do the midsection. Now that is one thing that's different. See, you've got to do it different. Push those in and then just collapse it. You got to do it different if you're going to do it better. So anyway, now the tabs will work. The arms are real simple, just kind of have to move things around to make them all line up. And then really all you really have left is to flip this thing here around. And give him his gut. And let's get him cleaned up a bit. This inside piece here. So the gun in there, when it's in alt mode, you got to fold it away. So you kind of pull this whole section out, you flip it around to give them a smoother look. And then, of course, you can put on your Autobot symbol there. Go ahead and get the negatives out of the way because no human is perfect, no figure is perfect, and you know we're never going to see perfection. But people complain about this thing moving around, and I don't see it as that big of an issue. I mean, it would be nice if it locked in place better, but I think the transformation is so smooth and easy and wonderful that I really I don't want to change anything about that. These pieces up here that I just didn't know existed, really, I'm wondering if this should clip into those. It looks like that should clip into it. I can't get that to clip into it. It looks like there's a notch for it to clip into it. I don't know. But the yellows don't 100% match. So this thing, if you are rough with it, it moves around. The yellows are not 100% matching, are my negatives on this thing. And then these things here, there's not a negative, it's just a surprise. So yeah, let's get that out of the way. So here he is all transformed up and he looks good. He looks great. I am very pleased with this guy. He's clean everywhere. This little piece here that goes to connect, like that little piece sticks out. That's kind of the worst thing about him. He just looks good. I love the way the feet were done. It makes him a lot smaller. And we'll look more into that when we get to comparisons. This guy is awesome. I have to admit, this guy is awesome. We'll wait for the Spindrift 2.0 comparison to compare him to the animation, but here in a second, we're going to compare him to all the other ones on the market right now. But let's look at some of the articulation. I was surprised to see these little panels. I'm not put off by them. I just didn't know they existed. Just little spike pieces in the front. That's something that I never noticed before. Now, the arms have a complete and total range of motion. Pretty much anything you'd want. It goes up to a little above 90, but like I don't really see myself doing anything that needs more than that. And the head, you got a little up and down and side to side, and that's enough for me. And it looks pretty good. The legs, pretty much all the way forward, all the way back. Let's see if we can balance him with his leg. Look, okay, he's balanced like that, well made. Feeling a lot of die cast in this thing. I know that's die cast, it's painted. Well, actually a lot of it's painted. The paint should match. And the elbow's double jointed. Is it double jointed? It appears to be double jointed, and it acts double jointed. And sometimes they don't give you a little bit of an elbow, but you've got an elbow there. You actually have the elbow, which is cool. Like all this in a $55 figure, which is bigger than the average. This thing is about the same size and maybe about the same weight as Takara's $160 Hound. That's crazy. That just blows my mind. You do have the ankle rocker, which is incorporated in the transformation, but then again, it's a design thing. Can we make it? Can we fake it? Can we make it? So before I get into the comparisons, I do want to subject you to sea spray voice. I don't know if they use the same voice for sea spray and merman. And there's also a show from the 60s called Stingray, and there was some sort of character in there that always called out for a young star, and he's like, young star, and I think it was young star's enemy or something like that. If you've seen that show, put that down in the comments. But it was on in the 90s when they were playing the Transformers show, and it was on before the Transformers show, so I caught that, and then I was waiting for Transformers, which I think is relevant here. Young star. First comparison I want to make is to the Toyworld. Toyworld, to me, is the best size. It's sized more appropriately. I want bigger is better. That's always me. But this character kind of lends itself to be a bigger character for the mini-bots. Now, the way they did the feet, I want to show you the difference in size in the feet. Seeing how that shows up, this just looks so much better than this. I don't know if it's how to say it, but even the holes and the gappiness where the hands go in when you transform it, and the way it folds down, this was re-engineered better. And I gotta say, these were a price approximately the same. I think I got mine for like 40, but 40 or 55 or whatever. Right around the same price point, in my opinion, for these figures. Because I don't know, maybe they were just clearancing this guy out when I bought it. I don't know. But Zeta is the same. So if you're looking to get the Zeta version, which has the glossier paint like this, which I love the highly reflective paint, then you're getting the Toyworld with just reflective paint. And that's what you're gonna get, which I liked the Toyworld the most until this guy came out. And we're going to talk about Fanstoys 2.0 after we talk about 1.0. Let's talk about Spindrift 1.0, and I've got to say, he's got the same problems that Toyworld did, but Toyworld hit the animation a little closer. This guy is like super skinny, so let's do a profile here. And Sea Spray isn't actually as skinny as Fanstoys made it, and I'm not gonna lie, the Fanstoys figure is a good figure. The Fanstoys figure looks cool. There's nothing wrong with it, except I feel he's too small. And I like the size of this guy better. And I like the paint on this guy better. I feel like they kind of cheaped out on the paint. And I like the transformation better. I like the less kibble better. He cleans up a whole lot better. Like this Fanstoys 1.0 has kibble on the back. Look at all that kibble, which, I know I could clean that up a little bit better than I did, whatever. But still, it's kibble, it's there. I should have to be cleaning it up, On this guy, I don't have to clean it up at all. And he looks better from the back. And then the engineering in the feet. Then again, I will give it to X-Transbots. They took a lot longer to get it out. They could see what everybody else did, and they could redesign theirs. And if you're last in the game, you gotta be the best. And he is the best so far. Just amazing. Looks so good. Spindrift 1.0. By the way, so if you bought Spindrift 1.0 and you're happy with it, and you like the look, and you like Fanstoys, stick with it. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm gonna show you, this is Igear, which I don't know why. I don't know. When I was collecting mini bots, Igears are so cheap, they're just irresistible. I use him as my Legends version. And then there is the G1. And I gotta say, I was struggling for a while to figure out the transformation on G1. It's been so long. Gosh, I had to figure that one out. But just kind of showing you what they look like. Now, I do want to show how he is closer to Carbot size. Not quite as big, not quite as intricate, but close to Carbot size. And closer to that than this. So if you're looking at this, you can see, yeah, he's kind of in the middle between what you get with a Bad Cubes Grump or even their own X-Transbots, Arcos. And then this is Takara, and I'm thinking like the Hound will be about the same size as the Takara version there. And I think that looks good. I think that scales very well together. And here's a few other options just so you can decide if you think. There's a Toyworld, Spindrift 1.0, and then there is the X-Transbots Neptune. He has accessories. I think the promo shot showed him kind of sitting down, playing with his ball and his pail and shovel. I don't know if I'm so excited about those accessories, but you know what? I am not going to complain at all. The more accessories you get, the more little pieces and items and display options you have, the better, I think. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and compare them to Spindrift 2.0. And I want to show you a couple of things. First thing is, in the picture, it looks like the finger is pointing on Spindrift 2.0. It's almost like showing off that we beat X-Transbots because theirs doesn't have individual pointing finger. I don't know. I may be looking at the picture wrong, so you decide for yourself. The other thing that they're showing is his kind of pot belly roundedness and showing off how pot belly rounded it is versus the super slim. I think Fanstoys can make any figure they want look exactly like a cartoon still. Whatever cartoon still you put up, they can do it. And I really feel like the X-Transbots is the best still. I think that when I get Fanstoys in my hand, I'm going to like it more. And here is why I'm going to like X-Transbots more still. More than Fanstoys. Be clear on that. Because of the size. Fanstoys is going to be too small. It's going to be not much bigger than the first one they came out with. It's just going to be fatter. It's going to be rounder. It's going to be more tune accurate. I think X-Transbots nailed this. It nailed this figure. X-Transbots going to nail Springer. This thing is cool, and I kind of like it a lot. I like it a lot. Now, you know, Forrest Gump likes it too, so he put his stamp, seal of approval on it. So I'm still going to get the Fanstoys one, and I'm hoping Fanstoys stays in the $55 bracket like they did with their Spindrift. If they stay in that realm with their mini bots, we are probably 60. I mean, I know prices go up, 60, 65, whatever. 65 still fine. Prices continue to go up. And I'm okay with that. But I'll get theirs too. I'll compare them all again or whatever. But the reality is, this thing wins. So let me know what you think about this amazing figure. Are you in on this guy? Do you already have a C-Spray you like? Are you happy with Toyworld? Are you happy with your Zeta version of Toyworld? Are you happy with your Spindrift 1.0? Are you going to wait for Fanstoys Spindrift 2.0 and have a short stubby version? Are you going to get this and get the best of all worlds let me know. Are you in on the Springer too? Or are you done with the Springer war? Is there another wars of these third-party figures that you're in on? Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.